What's up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonya? What's up, Sonya? Fat Mama Sonya. What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say? All right. Welcome back to another week, another episode of Game Dog Talk. Of course, we got the legendary panel. We got the legendary Rastaman Boone in the building. How you doing today, brother?
Yes, I them call him 78 Sports to the maximum. All our people out there in the chat, roots rocking to the maximum, and brothers doing their killer names to the maximum. We got schoolboy action. We got Only in America, and they call him, hold it, I think it is Bakari. No, not Bakari. It is Barker 3. And then we got Ram, the motherfucking magnificent. You know what I mean? Hey, all you knuckleheads, fuck y'all, you know? Which y'all give a fuck.
I like that. I take Ram the Magnificent. I'm finna run
Ram
with
the
that.
Magnificent. Yes, sir. I think that should do shit.
Legendary schoolboy, Mr. Richard Garcia in the building. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the chat. Hope everybody's doing good.
Yes, sir. And we have the legendary Only in America Kennels, Brother Bach in the building.
Peace of love to the awesome panel, and mad love to the good brothers and sisters in our chat room.
Yes, sir. And we have the legendary Ram the Magnificent to the motherfucking maximum.
Hell yeah, on the Magnificent with this sensational style. Be on the lookout for that remix coming soon.
There it
Fuck
is.
with me.
Yes, sir.
Why he quit walking across the stage? Go ahead with it now.
Yes,
Hell yeah, I got a cold crib walk too.
Let me scroll up and see what we got in the building thus far. We got Lonzo Turner, salute. T-Mac in the building.
Brother T-Mac, Turner.
Mr. Caliengo Kennel, salute. Luigi.
Way to go, Caliego.
Yeah, go.
Vernon Starr, Southside Kennels, Miami
Go,
Snoopy
Vernon
305,
South.
Hugo.
Outside.
All
Right.
the family Kennels in the building.
All family. One love.
There we go.
El JOCKO.
JOCKO.
Yeah.
SBO Kennel, salute to you.
All right, SBO.
Rhythm so nice. Rhythm so nice.
El Dios de los Perros, salute.
All right, brother. Hola.
Salute.
Marlo Stanfield.
Marlo, standing still. Maximum. To the maximum.
Eddie Rosta, salute. Much love to everybody in the building. Appreciate
Everybody in the building.
Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, as you enter the building. Thank y'all for being here. We finna cook.
Smash that like button because we like y'all. 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 Y'all hear? Do you hear?
Yes, indeed. All right. And we got here. We're going to get right into it. First question.
Hold on, brother, if you don't mind me interrupting you. I'm sorry. First of all, we like to say happy birthday to the schoolboy. Happy birthday to the schoolboy.
Oh, yes.
Happy birthday to our main man, the goddamn one and only schoolboy that just turned 21 years old. He is now legal to eat pussy anywhere in any place he wants to.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hell yeah, happy birthday, OG. Shit, put your cash app in the chat. God damn it.
Thank you.
There it
Thank
is.
you, brother.
Yes, sir. Let me see here. Let me get Boom back in here.
Oh, 2 years of him and his wife. And maybe he can get some more babies.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Yes,
If I can't make one, I'm gonna go buy me one. Yeah.
Hey, look, Bob. Tell him
Yes,
to get
sir.
the moringa, right? Is that what he needs?
That's what he need. He need the moringa seed, but I don't think nothing wrong with the seed. He's just not trying to make another school baby. But we don't mind him having any more school babies. I'm just letting him know that. Yes, indeed.
Well, listen, we need all the school boys we can get out of his ass. I mean, you
That's
know.
right.
So y'all still breeding that old dog?
Because we know the flesh runs out. But goddamn it, if he can make about 4 or 5 more, schoolboy
right.
be here for another 1,000 years.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right, get busy, schoolboy. You got your order now. Get busy. You got to get busy, schoolboy.
I'm gonna do it. I still remember how. I just don't remember why.
Right. Oh shit. Damn.
Hey, well, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you remember why. Now, all that computer stuff that's going on your side, all that work that's going on. See, the more you get, the more work will be done.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There you go.
See where I'm coming from? You know, because you already got the perfect teachers. They already ready. They just ready to grab somebody and bring them along.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I know. I remember what money is for.
Yeah. With the girls already being ready, and they bring the little brother and sisters through, and they just gonna be that much more ready than they were.
Yeah,
right.
But go ahead, Cam.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, schoolboy.
I was gonna say I finished my next book. I'll as soon as it arrives, I got them on order. As soon as they come, I'll give you guys a peek and see what it looks like.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm writing mines now, brother Richard.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
I'm already writing my philosophy. Right now, it's coming along awesome. I think everybody will enjoy it. It's different than a lot of things that you think.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Oh,
definitely.
Man, my brothers is maxing in the telling, boy. Get it, boys. Hey, I guess my old fat ass got to come up with something too, huh? Me and Ram and Kel. Yeah, Kel, all of you got to come up with something. Got to come up. You know, but hey, let me just say this. Be looking in the future for a book from everybody on the panel. That's right. Do that because it's coming. You know what I mean? Because we got a great collective of brothers with good minds. Kevin is one of the best hosts in the world. And not only that, he was raised up by a bulldog man and his family.
That's right.
So he got a whole lot to talk about.
There you go.
Yeah, and Ram been doing it to the max. I'm telling you.
We've been stepping through the motherfucker.
Magnificent.
The back.
Right. And we got the first question. Salute to the chat. Everybody coming through. I see you, Tay Tay. Salute to you.
Oh, what's up with the queen? The queen.
Hey.
First question we got. Angry question. Brother here says, when a question is asked in today's time, why is it that some people won't answer? I.e., who has this particular blood? Mr. Garcia.
Because they don't want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And in our case, for the most part, I think I'm speaking for everybody, maybe not. We're not familiar with the current dogs. We've been out of it a long time. So we may know, this guy here or there, but I get that a lot. Where can I find this? Where can I find that? And unfortunately, I can only say, I don't know. Or look at this ped. What do you think? I'm not familiar with them dogs. I have to go back in the ped, But just as a general rule, maybe it's just old heads. Maybe it's still people today. Is people just don't give out information. They just don't. And like in my case, I put my buddy. I'll use an example. OTK. I put his pictures of his dogs up, and people want to know how they're bred and this and that. He doesn't give out peds. That's just the way he is. He doesn't give out breedings. And it comes to a point where people asking me, how they bred. What do you want me to tell them? He said, just tell them they're schoolboy Eli. That's about all you're going to get out of them. I have tons of peds from certain people, but they trust me not to. They just want me to have the information. And a lot of times it's information for later, after they're retired or whatever. And if I ain't around, my daughter will put them up or something like that. They're okay with that. But current stuff, they just don't want nobody to know. So there are different reasons why. And, you have to respect that. But it's just, especially if they don't know you. If people don't know you, they're reluctant to tell you anything. The way the atmosphere is today, nobody don't know who everybody is. So you got to respect that, you know.
Yes, indeed. What's your thoughts on that, Brother Bach?
Well, you know, a lot of times, if somebody shit on them somewhere,
put everybody on mute.
Huh?
Okay. On mute. Go ahead.
Okay. What brother Richard just said, pretty much the same thing that most people want to say. First of all, it's just like we had a question before, and we were talking about it's partly about the pay it on the brother versus the grand champion who wasn't producing shit. A lot of people don't want you to know shit. That's why I tell people whether they want to hear it or not, keep getting caught up on your fake ass pairs. That's not going to lead you down a lit street. It's going to lead you down a dark street where you can't see shit based off of something that is not correct to begin with. Not saying a person that you got the dog from thought the papers was fucked up, but the person before that, he can't speak for it. Neither can the person before that motherfucker speak for that. You know what I mean? So people actually purposely did it so that you didn't have the Betty Crocker recipe. If Popeyes gave you their motherfucking recipe, then they wouldn't be Popeyes. Every fucking body down the street who would want to open up and like Popeyes as a chicken, same with Kentucky Fried, they would open it up, selling the same tasting chicken, making Popeyes go out of business because they're irrelevant. Okay, so everybody's not gonna give you that shit. So that even when I used to show up to shows, a person say, "Hey, Bach." Sometimes they say, "Oh, that must be some of that paladin shit," and I say, "Yep, whatever the fuck you think it is, ain't got no paladin in it." Basically, I know it don't, but they already perceived that's what it was. Or they ask me, "What is it?" And I say, "It's just a little bit of love. That's all." Because why the fuck I want to tell the opposition what I got? Period. It's nobody's business what the fuck I got. And the questions that some of the shit why some people don't like answering questions also is the people you giving the information to ain't half fucking listening to you. Then they want to start telling you, well, I talked to Richard. Richard told me if I use fly shit mixed with some barbecue sauce, it'll get rid of the fucking ulcers in my fucking dog's stomach. And I'd be like, well, and I gave him a whole nother joint. And I say, well, you know what? Fuck, go take Richard's shit. Because I told you what would get rid of ulcers. And, it's just certain people just don't take the information and do it right then. And when the shit don't work, they come back and blame you for it. Okay? So there's a million reasons why people don't want to tell you the truth. And the truth really should only be told to somebody that's really relevant to the person that they care for you to know. Other than that, why should a person be obligated to tell you shit? Really?
Yes, sir. Rastaman, what's your take on that? Oh, wait a minute. Rastaman on mute.
Hear me?
There you go, Rastaman. Go ahead.
Yeah. My take is this: hey, Joy, you see, I got the gangster stuff, I got the true draw, and I got the rule law. What you got? I got the Kikai and the P-Pie and the two-tie. And the two-tie. Well, what Hilo got? Hilo got Seaside, Seeso, Chingwong, T-Tone. And it's just a conversation to people. You know what I mean? Oh man, this is nice. You know what I mean? See, back in the old days, it was everything about packing a good lunch. You know what I mean? And mostly everybody, when they got the dogs that they wanted, they went ahead and created what they were trying to get with the dogs that they had got, or they felt like they could. But times has changed, and people really spend a lot of time talking pedigrees and comparing them, and then they come up with the sauce. Oh, I got the sauce. Tell Ray. Call Ray now. Call him. Ray, I got the sauce. You see what I'm saying? And all it's been from the beginning is taking quality animals and breeding them and letting them show what they represent and who they are. That's all. Ain't nothing special about that other than having a quality animals. And then, you know, to get in a tug of war about who bred this way or who bred this way. Then, you know, you want to vex your brother because you feel like you know more than him and he talks too much because he talking about the pedigree this way, that way. It's just a circle of foolishness. You know, everybody vexing one another because he think he got something better than the other. You know, if it's all of that, then why not just let it be what it is and everybody go to the confirmation show and see what it brings them? But instead, it's, you know, we want to war against our brother because we feel like we know more. Or we want to war against our brother because he shouldn't know what he knows. Or we want to war against our brother because we want to just take what he got. We want to war against one another because we just want to act a fool. See, we can't bring that to the Bulldog game. That ain't what it's been about. It's been about gentlemanship, humanity, love for the animals, respect for your fellow man. I was riding there with redneck so deep in red. God damn it, it didn't even matter because I knew I stood for what I believed in, and that was doing the Bulldog. So if I had to be amongst them to be Bulldog, and that's what I did. But instead, we want to kill one another. We want to hurt our own people, man. It's enough. We got, man, the highest target is us. And we do it to ourselves. We gotta cut that shit out and start looking at brothers and say, brother, I got love for you. Even you a fucked up motherfucker, I'm gonna stay the fuck away from you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. You know what I mean? But we ain't gotta just be killing ourselves, man. We can't, you know, man, come on, man. These kids, man, 14, 12, 13, they ain't even live. They ain't did nothing. They ain't even got out the box. But yet we got war against our own people, man. So how I feel about papers is the same way I feel about what I just said. I'd rather see brothers coming together as one, uniting as a family. I don't care if you're white, Chinese, blue, Mexican, mixed color, or mixed breed. I wouldn't give a damn what color you are. Every man should be treated as a man, and every woman should be treated as a woman. And we supposed to set example for all the kids coming behind us to show them the right way. And the right way, don't be fighting about these damn papers. If you got something to say about a paper, okay, say what you got to say. Okay, good. If it's right, right. Okay, if it ain't, it ain't. Goddamn, keep moving. Because you're trying to create your own lane anyway. But we get stuck on, man, some stuff, man, that our thoughts be so clogged with negativity that we just act on all the negative shit that they put out there to us. We got to stop. We got to stop this assault on ourselves. From the papers to the physical, to the spiritual, to the mentally. We got to stop and start getting this shit right, man. But go ahead, Kev. That's how I feel about it.
Yes, sir. Welcome down, Rand. Big stepping, man. Why you think some people in today's times or whatever don't tell you what blood they got?
Well, that was just part of the question, dude. It was a long question. I had to shorten it down, but the rest of it, he was like, because, you know, back in the day, information was more freely handed out as opposed to today.
Bullshit.
I would say, even if it was like back in the day, you had to at least come with a voucher, you know, like somebody had to vouch for you and say, hey, this is my young homie just getting into the dogs, or this is my dude, he been doing the dog, just whatever. Somebody in the know had to say, you know, you was all right to be able to talk around, you know, he good. And it ain't like that no more, but it's starting to get back like that. And I totally agree with that. Like, If you ain't in this shit, even though we live in the information age, some information shouldn't be shared. Like, don't nobody who listen to this shit know what the fucking code is for the fucking nuclear bombs in their area. That information is fucking only need to know. You feel me? The motherfuckers who need to know it, and those who don't need to know it don't have a fucking clue. It should be like that with the information of the dogs too, even if it is something as simple as who got such and such blood, you know? Who the fuck is you? You know, why is you asking? Not saying you the police, but you could be. And if you're not the police, you just a nouveau. What you ask is some nouveau questions for, motherfucker. Just kick back and wait your turn, you know, until you motherfuckers get comfortable enough with you to answer them type of questions. Because it might seem like a simple question to you and to the public, but to a motherfucking dog, man, that's like, hold on, you asking for the code to Fort Knox, motherfucker. Who are you? So, you know, I appreciate that it's getting back to that because this is a need to know fucking business. And if you ain't in it to win it, you don't need to fucking know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And just if I can just elaborate, just partly what Brother Ram said that the original question was a little long. Listen, first of all, you tell me in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, and 80s where the internet was developed, and I'll wait and listen. That wasn't so. First of all, we live in an age now. Nobody even knew nobody's pedigree. How the fuck was you gonna know somebody's ped back in the day? Wasn't no peds online. None of that shit was up there for you to go read anybody's pedigree. Only how you was gonna get the ped if you was in the camp itself. Only way you was gonna know the ped to the shit is if that person thought you was never gonna be an opposition. How the fuck I'm gonna tell somebody that I'm an opposition with? This is what the fuck I'm using and coming with. So in certain bloodlines, these is chest and stifle eating dogs. Why the fuck I'm gonna tell them I'm bringing a fucking paladin stomping out or whatever certain dog, a ZEBO, this, that, and other, where they know that's a straight ahead, this, that, and then he can go bring a BOLIO shit dog down there that's gonna goddamn try to go counter it by being a head dog. Why the fuck would I tell a person this is what you may be able to do to beat what I'm bringing? Who does that dumb shit? Now today, they do. They sit up here and tell every fucking thing. I see everything on Facebook. Motherfuckers can't wait to tell everything because they looking for they looking for likes and approvals. I don't give a fuck about if you like shit that I say and approval to anything because I wasn't never doing it for you. The shit that I obtained, I got it from somebody that trusted me with it. Why would I give it away? When the person that entrusted me with it felt as though I was not opposition. I would always be loyal to them. We would never go against each other. Why would I tell that to motherfuckers that can't hold no loyalty? More snitches and bitches today than's ever been in life. People goddamn turn on each other within a fucking week. You know what I'm saying? Why would you get that information? So when you get information, you most of the time gonna get it from somebody that really believes that they can trust you. Not somebody just gonna just randomly just give you everything. So nobody should get upset when nobody just feels like they want to tell you shit. Especially when you can go down there on the internet and get everything you want to fucking know today because it's out there. Wasn't like that back in the day. You couldn't know what the fuck to do with that.
That was the second part of my answer is you trustworthy enough to know that information. You know, like I can give you the game. I can show you how to do my keep and all of that. And if you fucking don't do it how I say do it, obviously you wasn't paying attention and I just wasted fucking 12 weeks showing you how to fucking be great and you didn't appreciate it. Like, not only is that disrespectful, but that's disheartening to a motherfucker. You know, motherfucker lose a little bit more faith in humanity when that shit happened. And you not want to share more information with motherfuckers. So yeah, my answer was twofold, but we could go to the next question though.
One last thing. A person said on there, Bach exposes his pedigree. Bach ain't matching no more. You wouldn't have known shit when I was matching. Everything you would have asked me, I would have told you whatever the fuck you wanted to hear. Now I'm motherfucking idle. I'm chilling. So you can know that's why I'm up here giving information. I wasn't giving you this shit when I was on that motherfucking road trying to get in your ass. No, sir. No, now I'm the nice guy like a motherfucker. You can ask me any question. Me and fucking schoolboy be up there asking questions, answering questions all the way to 2, 3 in the morning for free. That's what we've been basically doing. I get 1 million people asking questions, I'm answering. But back then, when I was out there racing, why would I tell you what I got under the hood of my car? Does that make any
Exactly.
rational sense?
And see, that's a good point you brought up, bro. Because ain't none of us active no more, so we could give you the
Right,
sauce. We ain't using that shit. We ain't cooking with it
right.
no more. Here you go. But if motherfuckers would act like, even though I ain't been active, go back to the first shows. I still was on that. I ain't telling you niggas shit, and I wasn't using it at all. You feel me? Motherfuckers
Right.
ask me, and I act like I didn't hear that shit. Like I fucking
And
only understood that in goddamn Chinese Spanish. And that
look,
language don't even exist. You feel
and
me?
one last thing, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm sorry to be taking so much of. Listen, another thing. Don't believe everything motherfuckers tell you. I purposely send a bitch down the wrong street. I do it all the time. So I tell a motherfucker all these years they thought I hated Red Boy. I'm telling you, I never did hate Red Boy. How the fuck you gonna hate a bloodline that's known for fucking staying power? And you want to stay there in case you got to be there. Now, of course, I was breeding mostly for shit to make sure I can be out of there in less than an hour, which was always basically the case. But if I tell you, oh, Bach, we can get through the first 40 minutes of Bach, we might got a chance of beating them. Okay, motherfucker, well, you don't know. I got pure Red Boy octane behind my shit. Don't tell nobody.
Man, I
At
just was
all.
finna say that. You got some of the coldest Red Boy dogs, man. But I never tell a motherfucker how they bred.
That's right. That's right. So don't always believe what a motherfucker wants. People tell you what they want you to know. Just ask our government in every fucking place in the world. They only tell the citizens shit they want to know. With the real shit behind the scenes, we all lost.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think a lot of people that questions like that is funny to me because people love to talk about somebody's a peddler, this person a peddler, they peddling the dogs, and they want to pretend like they want this old school bulldogging. But the moment they face with some old school bulldogging, they start crying. Oh, why ain't nobody telling them what they got in the yard? Why ain't nobody talking to me? Why ain't nobody doing this? Why ain't nobody? Well, the only old man told me one time, the only time you reveal what you got on your yard is when you want a pat on your back from your friends, show off, or you ready to sell it. Because until then,
Right.
what's the point of it? What's the point of telling
No
somebody?
point.
Yeah, that don't make sense. Like you telling somebody what you got on, and nowadays it's even worse because if the way they got the law set up, if you buy a dog from a dog that's an active dog, you buy a puppy off of this dog. This dog got a name. If they come snatch if the authorities snatch that dog up, they coming after everything with that motherfucking dog in the pedigree, right? Now they making y'all DNA test the dogs and shit. Everybody crying
Right.
about DNA test. Yeah, that DNA test ain't for you. It's for the police. It ain't
That's
for you.
exactly what it's for.
Yeah, that's not for you. That's not for, oh, yeah, I got my dog's DNA tested. Cool. But that wasn't made for you. That was made so they can track them fucking dogs and lock all y'all asses up. But anyway.
Wait a minute. Even on the DNA shit. Okay, listen. You can go get a DNA. Say the dog's supposed to be Robert Stilskin. Okay, well, you go in that motherfucker and go put Benny Bob as Robert Stilskin, and that's the only fucking DNA you're gonna have. So who the fuck says you got the DNA of the real dog that's on the pedigree? That don't prove
Absolutely.
shit at all.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Um, El Jefe in the super chat, appreciate the love coming through with the 20-piece chicken nugget, man. Thank you for the support. He says,
Thank you.
historically speaking, how common was it in the past for a last-minute substitute in a match? And what were the rules as far as that was concerned? If you were matched into one dog and it's another dog of the same weight, Mr. Garcia.
It's pretty common. Pretty common. I took over one in a month. They happened to forfeit, but I just put a month keep on them. 11 days, 2 weeks. As long as you make the weight and do all the rules, it was considered legitimate. Now people talk about off the chain. There's a lot of famous dogs that were basically off the chain. In fact, they mention them in the report. And I'm a honey bunch man. Well, her third match, she was off the chain, and it says it right there in the report. So as long as you meet the criteria, it's legit. It happened pretty often, and it happens sometimes where the quote unquote off the chain dog won into the conditioned dog. And it happened where the off the chain dog was in pretty decent shape anyway. And like I said, as long as they make the weight, got the rules, the ref, all that stuff. It happened all the time. Most of them weren't, but it was pretty common.
Yes, indeed. What about you, Rasta man?
Yeah, I've been a part of it in the past. Whereas we came in and I think we was like a quarter over, and this guy, he came in, he was like half a pound or a pound under, and he collected a forfeit. Then another guy was matched into somebody, and he was about a quarter over. So both our bitches was at the same weight. So I said, shoot, I said, hey, what you want to do? You know, he said, hey, let's do it. So that's not no off the chain. That's 2 dogs. It was 4 dogs conditioned. 2 of them collected a forfeit, and the 2 that paid the forfeit got it on. You know what I mean? And both dogs met the weight. You know what I mean? So you got different scenarios, and I've seen where it say, okay, 3 weeks. Get it together in 3 weeks. And it's the same thing. Whether you work 3 weeks, 10 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. It's all the same. And so yeah. I mean, you can do it, and it won't make it less or anything like that. It'll be the same thing. It'll still be a contract match. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure. What about you, Brother Ram?
Shit, I had to do it a few times. Like, luckily, I was able to have a dog, both times that would work themselves on the chain. And I think one was like a half a pound under the weight that I had to sub for, and another one was like a pound and a quarter under. But I still won both of them, and because both of them dogs would literally work themselves all day on the chain, were pulling it, jumping up, slapping it on the ground, running that bitch back and forth in a fucking circle. Just they stayed in shape year round. They looked like everybody always thought I was just sneaking working them. But I wasn't. The motherfuckers just worked themselves, so I was able to pull it off. But like OG Schoolboy said, it happens more often than not. And luckily, in my case, I had the dogs to do it and come out the other end with the bag in the dog. So, that shit happens. And both times, those dogs got fucked up, during keep the last week. One stepped on a big ass fucking nail I didn't see in the field, ran right through his paw, and one of them fucked his shoulder up being on the mill. So shit happens, But go ahead, OG.
I was saying in some cases, if nobody says nothing, you don't know. You don't know if they worked them a day or 10 weeks or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't know at all. Every dog in shape don't look the same. Some dogs look like they fucking was only worked for 2 weeks and been worked for 8 weeks,
Yeah. So it only if it's, if the info is let out that you're going to know anything.
That's right.
Sometimes they do it. Sour grapes. I lost. Well, I didn't work my dog anyway. I pulled him off the chain. If you win, then you're bragging. I didn't work my dog anyways. I pulled that motherfucker off the chain.
Exactly. The answer gonna be the same, win or lose.
It's gonna be the same. Yeah. It how you perceive it. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Brother Bach, what's your opinion?
Like all the other good brothers said, and another thing, there's no thing that you have to fucking work your dog. As long as you meet the date and weight, that's all is required. Nobody gives a fuck what you did with your dog during the time that you're supposed to allotted to work that motherfucker. Some dogs are better off the chain than ever putting any work in them at all. Sometimes you put work in a fucking dog and make them half the dog they was when they was off the chain. So, that's up to the discretion of the person that owned the dog. Okay, what I want to, to the one that said, calm down. First of all, I'm in my fucking favorite place. It don't get no better than this up here with the panel of the brothers I'm up this motherfucker with. I am not motherfucking stressing or nothing. This is beautiful up here. This is like busting a nut. Fuck
Hey,
ain't
this just
fuck
how
I'm
Bach is. He just he was
shit.
a dog.
Hey,
He'd be a red boy Jocko Jeep cross, just screaming all day.
hey,
Happy than a
that's it.
motherfucker though. Ain't nothing
Hey,
wrong with him.
man, listen. All I'm saying is the way I speak is the way I'm gonna speak, and it's a passion. You know, you might hear Boone, his shit come from a goddamn a different type of passion. You might hear Ram, but everybody shit. Sometimes I remember my mother say something like, "Well, you know, you're getting a little loud." I'm like, "Oh, did I? I didn't notice. I was in the passion of it." But no, everything is lovely. This show right here, but I can't wait for Sundays to come up here and sit up here amongst the panel and the chat room and do this shit that we love more than sex. Well, at least some of us. The bulldog shit, like I said, me and Boone have spoke about it. I will come out of some puss to get up on this motherfucker goddamn food some dog shit. I'm just telling you, it's an addiction that will never the fuck go away. I don't give a fuck how many years you're into it. If you really love these dogs, talking about it, being with the dogs, is a feeling that if you're not into it, you could never even understand it. It's worse than fucking crack cocaine. So no, I'm enjoying every fucking thing I say and do up this motherfucker. But
Hey,
carry on.
let me say this. Big salute to Mecca of game dogs, Balkans. Man, you know what? I'm gonna name. I'm gonna I'm gonna name. I'm gonna name me a bulldog, the Balkans one day. Yeah. So let's big up my brother in the Balkans there, Kel.
Yeah. Salute to your what's his name? Design in the super chat. Appreciate the love. He says, big salute to the panel from the Mecca of Game Dogs, Balkans. I've been following the show for a year now. You guys taught me so much. Salute to you, homie.
Hey, salute to you.
Much love.
Hey, you can spell Mecca with 2 C's next time too. I ain't gonna hold it against you, bro.
Yeah. But we appreciate your thoughts and your kind words, and all that does is just make us that much more want to be there for you, brother. So any questions you have, give us a holler, man. That's what we're here for.
Yes, sir. Now for a quick word from our sponsors.
One of the most anticipated dog breedings has finally been confirmed. The pups from this pairing of Zeta and DMX will be born very soon. We are now accepting deposits. Our pups will come with ears cropped and a 2-year health guarantee. Get ahead of the pack on purchasing a puppy by contacting NWA Cane Corsos on Instagram at NWA Cane Corsos. Call or text 479-326-1603 with any questions. A guard dog is your first line of defense. These will be the right pups for the job.
Yes, indeed. We got Dog Man. Dog Man Scratch in the super chat. Appreciate the love. He says, to each person on the panel, if you were a bulldog, what would be your name, bloodline, weight, style, and owner?
Damn, that's a hell of a question there.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with you, brother Bach.
You can call me Pussy Eating Virus. Okay, that'll be my name. And definitely going back to the Stifles is my game. Okay, all right. So, but no, since I be fighting the same sex, I might have to change that name because I ain't gonna have a female dog. I'm gonna be going into. So no, that's a good damn question on some real shit. Like I guess I would be called the finisher. That's what I'd be called, the finisher. That's because that is my number one thing that I run with, finishing. And my style would be hitting any vital areas to get the job done the shortest time as I could. So that would be my style. And that would be hitting, like I said, any vital areas. Anybody that, that would know what that would consist of, not just necessarily a chest dog, but back end, gut dog, whatever. And what else was the question? It was the name and style and what else?
Bloodline.
Weight, yeah, weight, bloodline,
okay, with the
and then
weight,
the owner.
Well, shit, I don't know what weight I would. Well, I would say like this. I like smaller dog weight even though I ain't never been a little motherfucker. But I guess I would have liked to ran that 37, 38 pound joint. And Bloodline would still be the same shit I run with because that's the shit I love. And that would be Paladin, Stompinato, Art Missing.
Yes, sir.
You'd be a catch weight.
Yeah, if I was going with my real weight, yeah, of course, all day long. But he made it like weight.
That's a popular weight. That 37, 38, 39.
That's a terrible. Like. Yeah, you get all that you want and be nice shit, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, and owner.
And owner.
Yeah, that was the last part of the question.
The owner of the dog. Who would own me? You okay? All right. I would have to say, shit. That's a good one too.
Pick a pretty girl. Pick a pretty girl.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? God damn it, Tay Tay. God damn it, Tay Tay. Fuck it. She don't.
Yes, indeed. And what about you, Mr. Garcia?
I can't call it. Move on. Someone else, man. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, man?
You can answer some of them, bro. You ain't got to answer all of them.
I did. I said Tay Tay.
Oh, you said.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
You said Tay Tay.
Oh, Tay Tay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only one I'll answer. I don't know, man. That's kind of, you caught me off guard.
Now you said you got to tell the blood, the name you would be, and
yeah. Go ahead, Rasta man. Let's hear yours. Bro.
Okay. Y'all want to hear, man? Y'all ready for me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says each person on the panel. Okay. What would be your name? Well, my name would be. Yeah. Well, this is a hell of a choice. Oh yeah. My name would be Nimrod Jaw Pressure, meaning Nimrod JP. And the reason why I say that is because it's a combination of two dogs that we had. The reason why I put Nimrod first is because Nimrod will crush your skull. All he had to do is grab you, and once he grabs you, you going down, you're going to look like spaghetti, going real slow. You know what I mean? That's the kind of mouth he had. And then said the bloodline, the Red Boy Outlaw, ZEBO, Carbon Tiger Jack. Weight, 46, 47, somewhere along in there. Style, like I said, hard biting with style, controlling. I want a controlling animal. I want one that don't, you got, like back in the past, you would see some, they just fight crazy. You got to be able to recognize that. Is he just fight crazy or he controlling the action? I want one that controls the action, but they don't come up every day. You know what I mean? So you got to be breeding and holding all on to get that talent because it's there. They there. And the reason why I say that because if you controlling everything, your opportunity of getting banged up real bad is real slim. Now, don't get me wrong. As Blondie proved when we did her and Stone, I didn't think nothing could get the Stone because she was so controlling. But man, after that, I was like, good God, I didn't know a dog could, just do it like that. You know what I mean? And then take the punishment that she received behind it. So I gave the weight, and the owner, I guess Tay had to be my owner too. Well, I'm gonna pass it on to y'all, brother.
She got a hell of a lineup, goddammit. She got a hell of a lineup.
What about you, Ram?
Well, my name from birth would be Grand Champion Dick Meat. I'm going with that. I'll be straight off of Tudor's Blackjack Jr., 9-time killer. I'll be one of them big motherfuckers like I am now, you know, so we catch weight and a little under catch weight. Style is in the name, and the owner the most important part, because I have to be owned by a motherfucker who not only would do me, but knew what he doing and had bread. So I got to go with Mr. Abraham for that. We'll kill everything and get
You
rich
talking about
while we
Joe
can.
Abraham?
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
the only Abraham I know.
Yeah. Hey man, that's one brother. You know, we should give a big shout out to, because I met him way back in the days, man. And
Right.
you talking about a cool brother, man. One of the smoothest brothers you ever meet, man. You know what I mean? I met him and his brother together, you know, and we enjoyed the time that we had when we was up that way. And he's done a lot of great things, you know, for the game. And very knowledgeable brother too, man.
Man, I'd love to get him up here. But yeah, that's who, yeah, he would have to be my owner, because he going to handle conditioning and he
Yeah,
going to get rich doing it. You feel me?
we can try to you know, try to put in a bid and see if we can get him to come on the show, man. You know,
I wish you hadn't said that.
why?
Because every thirsty motherfucker gonna be trying to get him before us and shit.
Hey, but only thing is, we the best.
Yeah,
We only fuck with the best. He on Queen of Hearts, and he ain't finna just step down. He
Yes,
be like,
sir.
you know, so you could try all you want, but motherfuckers know who the best is at this shit here. Stop playing it.
but that's the whole set. You know, like like we built a relationship that's beyond being in the physical. You know, amongst one another. It was like a spiritual vibe. You know, we met and the vibe was great from the beginning. You know, I was, you know, when I came up that way, you know, I was hunting. You know what I mean? And my partner Jam got the vibe in Joe brother. And then he was like, yo, man, we need to just, you know, we brothers, man, we just need to link from a brotherhood perspective. And see, at that time, I was on the hunt. I'm like, yo, let's get with everybody we can get with and see what we could do. But you know, as Jam and I kept talking, then it was decided, you know, we just, you know, brothers respecting one another, and it has always existed from that time. I'm talking about that was, well, man, that's over 30 years ago, man. And I haven't seen Joe. Shit, man, I ain't seen Joe in some years, man. But you know, I know he still exists and he's still around. And you know, if we can, man, I'm gonna see if I can put a bid out there and get that brother come on forward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Let me answer the question. He says, you're a bulldog, what's your name? My name will be Mossberg. Bloodline will be some REDBOY, JOCKO, BOLIO, Tombstone, with a slight touch of that grand champion Karate blood. Weight would be 56 pounds. Big old dog. Style would be a front end chest dog. And the owner, I'm gonna go with what's the man name who got who had Frisco now?
Vinny Romero,
No,
or
man,
Tom Garner.
Tom Gardner.
Oh yeah, you gonna get all the pussy.
Exactly. That's what I'm going. I'm trying to go with Tom. I'm gonna go with Tom Gardner so I can get all of the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Who breathe your balls off?
I'm gonna be fucking from sun up to sundown. Fuck.
From a pup to an old dog, you there?
Goddamn, he's taking a blue pill.
Hey, look here. One thing about it, you know, or Tom gonna put you to work.
Definitely.
If you talking about getting them, Man, you'll be producing pups every 6 months.
And if you go have an owner, that'll be the one.
Yeah. You know,
You
make
gonna
sure
make sure you get yours off.
you're gonna get the best quality of medicine, the best taking care of, the best feeding.
All the
Yeah.
Frisco cross pussy you could
I
ask
mean,
for.
you'll be top chef being there, and when you leave, your name will still be ringing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Let me go with Zachariah 23 in the super chat showing love. Salute. He says,
Zachariah.
historically, what were some rules that the panel abide by when setting up shows to keep things low key and lower risk of attracting unwanted attention? Back in the day, he's talking about what did y'all do? Let me ask you, schoolboy.
Back in the day, it was pretty simple. They, we say things were wide open, and they kind of were, But my thing was, whoever was part of the show, they bring people. If it's somebody I know, they bring whoever they bring. But the one thing was, whoever you bring or whoever you invite, you're responsible for. So if there's a problem, they cause a problem, it's on you as much as it is on them. I never had any problems, Everybody behaved. They understood that was my house. My family lived there. They respected that. So I never really had a problem. I've been to other places where there've been little things here and there, but not too bad fights, But that was basically it. They just understood. I made it understood that you're responsible for the people you bring or you invite.
Yes, sir. What about you, Brother Bot?
Well, like Brother Richard said, I mean, it was again, we didn't have social media, so it kept all of the people who like to sit up there and bring unwanted attention to themselves or the dogs. That wasn't there, so it was just different because when you came back then, even before you can go into the actual show, they would bring everybody out, so you're going to have to pay, but you're going to have to be, so if you got 10 people, they're going to ask, and you're going to show all 10 of them people is with you. And if you don't know who the hell any of them people within that or outside of that 10 are trying to act like they with you, the show not even going to happen. But then the next question going to be, we want to know, is any police here? Okay, if there's any police, we want you to tell us if you are. And before we do anything that is illegal, we don't want to do, we want to know so we can go back home. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're gonna ask, and they're gonna continue asking. Like, okay, well, we're about to go in there with these dogs, and we're gonna look at them. But again, if it's gonna be illegal, we all want to go home. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Garcia and Boone is well aware of that back then. That's what they was gonna say, and it wasn't, so you couldn't really hide like you could, where you could just show up at a place because it's so, it would be a little bit more open. So it was hard for you to infiltrate unless you were actually coming with somebody that's, to do it. But you just couldn't just show up and just be allowed in, So that's the way I saw it.
Yes, sir. What about you, Rasta man? Rasta man, you there? Okay, Rasta man might stepped away. He might stepped out.
He's just wiping off his knee pads. That's all.
What about you, Ram?
Yeah, my only rule that I had, man, that I wouldn't be flexible on was two to a side, man. And the other one was fucking no add-ons, meaning like if me and you agree to do something and like that's just our private deal, it's not a show or nothing. Don't fucking let me find out fucking 4 weeks later that the homie on the card too, you hooked into him. Like I didn't tell this motherfucker what I was doing. But you, in order for you to get him to go into you, you had to tell him that me and you was doing something. You know, even though I fuck with the homie, like I still didn't tell him that wasn't his business. You feel me? Like, so I, in return, I say I got two options: I go fuck you up or fucking don't go. So I just pay the forfeit and just don't fuck with you. You know, because I believe in privacy, bro. Like what we talk about is what we talk about. Even though, like, I used it because that's the real life scenario happened to me. You know, I fuck with the homie. It's the big homie. You feel me? But I didn't tell him. You had to tell him because when I seen him, he like, oh yeah, I'm on the court with you. Man, what? Wait a minute, nigga. Hold on. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That shit ain't cool.
Yeah.
So it was my only two fucking gripes I would have that I wouldn't bend on. Two to a side because it's private. The day of the convention is over unless you're going out the fucking country. So all them big gatherings I would never even go to, even just to fucking watch stateside. You got me fucked up. It's just too much goes on. Last one I went to ended bad. You feel me? So I just said, fuck that. I ain't going to that shit no more. I might fucking down somebody at a dog show. That ain't cool. But these motherfuckers are stupid when there's too many of them that you don't know. Because all of them ain't dog men that's there coming to respect the game and observe some competition between two combatants. You feel me? This motherfucker there thinking it's date night, it's a day at the fair, whatever the fuck they thinking, other than keeping it about the dog. So I always kept it to a side. No add-ons, homie. If you can respect that, I can fuck with you. If you can't, shit, we could fuck off.
And that's what everything. Shouldn't be no add-ons or. I hate when people always bring in their homeboy, with them or some shit you ain't told me about. I invite you somewhere, or you call me and tell me, years ago, this dumbass dude, oh man, he all panicky on the phone. Man, I need help, man. I gotta come pick something up from you, man. These motherfuckers, man, you got some drama. I'm like, all right, man, well, come by yourself. Don't bring nobody by my house. You know how I am by my house. I don't like people knowing where I live at. Oh, yeah, for sure. Come outside. This motherfucker got his girl in the car. I said, bro, who's that? Who in the car? Oh, that's my girl, man. Man, fuck that bitch. Get her out of here, bro. Get away from my house. Fuck out of here. You know how the police do? She been the first one telling on your stupid ass or telling on me. The fuck away from my house. Like I told you.
Say it again. Say it again, brother. Say it again.
Yeah, them fucking girls. These dudes always talking about bringing somebody along with them. Like a motherfucker in a strip club with no money. Talking about, I don't believe in tricking, bro. Well, get the fuck out the strip club, homie.
Right.
I don't need you standing around me, fucking stick up kid or something.
No, one of them hobosexuals.
Mm-hmm. Wayne Fielder in the super chat. Appreciate the love, homie. Thank you, brother. All right, let's get to.
All right, you gonna ask me the question?
Oh, my bad, brother Boone. I thought that's right. You was on mute. Let me go back up to it. Up to the brother Boone. Get back up to it real quick. All right. Historically, what were some rules the panel abide by when setting up shows to keep things low key and lower the risk of attracting unwanted attention back in the day, brother Boone?
I would say to anybody, man, back then, the thing to do is to, I wouldn't even be a part of a show. The thing to do is just have one, and you got 3 with you, 3 with them, and a referee, and that's the end of that. And that way, everybody is, is comfortable, and that's what they did back then. Made it so that the less, the better the situation would be. But when all that, when you try to have all this, and everybody understand the hype because it's all hype. You know what I mean? All this shit is hype. Hey, I gotta say this, man. Did y'all see them Lakers whoop the Mavs, man? Come back
27 points.
It's a damn shame.
Got that ass.
Hey man, I couldn't believe that shit, man. Hey boy, they look like they might goddamn done turned on. They
Niggas look good since they got that trade, boy. Them motherfuckers, them young boys, they got some speed on the team now to really run.
Yeah, they done well, they had speed, they just didn't understand how to deal with it. Cause I'm telling Westbrook a bulldog now. He bulldog. You know what I mean? He might do shit.
He just didn't fit. He just didn't fit in their scheme. But
Yeah. But go ahead, Kevin. You don't want to get on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another question is: does the panel have any tips on how to correctly read a pedigree? How to correctly? I thought everybody knew how to read a pedigree.
Well, no, that was one of the brothers who just a nouveau in the dogs kind of. He was like, he think he might be reading it wrong, and if we had any other tips on
he
how
might
to
be
get
talking about like the
any other
like the ADBA
information.
paperwork type of pedigree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like today's modern technology, this day and age, it don't get no easier than what we got, bro. Pass online. Like I learned how to read pedigrees. I was reading them backwards the whole time. That's how I know the history of a lot of dogs that's way in the back. That was before my time because I was fucking the dogs in the back was dogs I was familiar with from these hearing stories or reading about. So I'd always start in the back and work my way forward, just over the years. That's how I learned how to read pedigrees in a dyslexic way, But I know I learned the history of the dogs in the back and shit, though, by doing it like that and coming forward. Each generation, I would study the dogs, and it would be less dogs the more I moved forward until I got up to the current dog.
That's the way to read it. I mean, that's the way I feel like you should read it. If you want to understand what you're dealing with, you need to go back in his pedigree to understand what made it. And if you don't know,
I totally agree.
But,
So when you read peds, now that you know how to read them, though, you always start with who are the parents, and then who are the parents off of, who were they parents, such on and so forth. Because that's just how we read in America. But I totally agree. It's best to learn the history first before you get to the fucking future.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
sure.
That's why it is a future, because of the history.
Mm-hmm. Let me go to Brother Bach on this question here. In the past, what litter has the panel produced that assured them that they were able to produce their own high quality dogs?
Okay, before that, if I can, I just want to answer partly that last question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, like with Boone and I'm 100% what they said. First of all, the peds ain't gonna make no sense to you if you don't know the history of the bloodline you're working with, and if it's too scatterbred within your pedigree, you're not going to understand it anyway, because there's too many goddamn variables to know where any specific trait you may like in the dog came from. You understand? So you got to know something about if it's Eli or REDBOY or the JOCKO, or you need to know what the traits are in these particular lines to be able to know. Like, and I tell anybody, go with traits over anything else, because at the end of the day, if you breeding and don't know what you're getting, then why breed anything? So it's not going. You're just going to just keep going out there throwing shit in the dark, hoping the shit lands somewhere. You can't actually know where you're going to land at unless you really know where the shit came before to land on. You know what I mean? So it's important, like they said, go to the back, read the shit 6, 7, 8 generations, even though only 4 generations of the front is really going to dictate what you have in your dogs. You still want to know what made that and which you're now using. You know what I mean? So that's the way I learned, just like they said, learning about certain bloodlines, and then it made sense to me where I was able to connect the dots, let's just say with Black Widow, with other Black Widow dogs, regardless what the names say in front of it, long as it trails the Black Widow, if that's what I'm looking for, then those traits of Black Widow I get, whether it's through Bolio, through Snooty, through Cowboy, through Paladin, through, any dogs that's connected, Honey Bunch, any dogs that's connected with that, I'm going to stay connected. Okay? But okay, now to the question that you just asked. Can you repeat that one more time for me, brother? I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yo,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My bad. The question is, in the past, what litter, what litter has the panel produced that assured them that they were able to produce their own high quality dogs?
Okay, well, it was easy for me. Like I've always stated, I stumbled on the gold mine, so I didn't do nothing but fall in line with what was already working. There was no reason for me to change the damn script at all because I was able to see the East Coast Assassin can create monsters after monsters after monsters with his recipe. So all I did, not that he actually showed me what to do, but in order to know anything, if you just shut the fuck up more so than even asking questions and just listen, you're gonna really, even though a person don't call themselves teaching you, they're teaching you. You understand? So all I did is follow the path that he already put together. And the same shit that I did when I first got in the dogs, I'm using the same exact shit today. Same thing. Haven't changed nothing. Because I'm too scared if I change it, then I'm gonna lose everything that he put for me to have at the beginning. You understand?
Yes, sir. What about you, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, basically making the Jeep Red Boy with a little bit of Eli, whether it's Jeep Red Boy Bully Son or Jeep Red Boy uh, Rascal. It'd be like Big Red to Sissy, Big Red to Blondie. Those two kind of, they were heavier on the Jeep side. That was the start of it, and it always worked. So basically, it was that.
Yes, sir.
And almost every litter I bred, I got something out of. Some better than others, so I stuck to the ones that were better than others. Some just had one dog in it that made it to the box. I compete with it, but I wouldn't breed those dogs. So I'm looking for percentages, quality, match dogs, producers, and producers come from, for the most part, at least in my case and several other cases, producers come from match dogs, and so I kind of stuck with that formula. But also the ones that had more in the litter that worked out, even within the litter, you can have some better than others. So for me, I tried the best ones. I bred other ones too, but always the better ones were the ones that produced the best too, because they come from producers, and they had litter mates that were competitors, and parents and grandparents that were competitors and producers. If you use that pattern, you're gonna have pretty good percentages,
Right.
So basically like that.
Yes, sir. What about you, walking down, Ram?
Well, shit, I ain't no breeder, per se. I kept it simple. I would breed my fucking great bitches to my fucking match dog males or the match dog that I wanted to breed to, but I would only put the emphasis on great for my bitches because it was hard to find great bitches, and I would only want my great bitches to produce because I used to be big on matching them, but I would always lose them, whether they win and die afterwards. Just going into stiff competition against other great bitches and shit. Usually they both don't make it sometimes, type shit. So once I got past the phase of wanting to match them, I would just make sure they were match quality greatness and would just stick to breeding them. But I would only breed them to match dogs, not match quality dogs, but dogs that were actively being matched or retired from being matched, but were winners, champions, all that. And it sounds cool and it's fun and all that, but I got stuck on just only doing them type of breedings and missed out on a lot of good dogs to breed too from thinking that way. So keep that in mind too before you go down that path. It look good on the pad and all that. Only breed good, great fucking bitches who can reproduce themselves to fucking match dogs, and the pedigree look great, but I could have had way more greatness if I'd have fucking, bred dogs that fucking was just as great, but nobody matched him, even though I had seen him, you know. So always keep that in mind too. But fucking, I always got fucking. If I bred my champion, and the litter, it better be a champion. That was my standard, you know. So I always got a champion or two when I bred my champions. But again, I'm not a breeder though, so you know I really can't put too much input on that because I would keep all my shit and we would fucking run it up.
Right.
So I was breeding my own dogs, but you know, I'm not a breeder. These men up here, they was, you know, great breeders when they was fucking on the field with it.
Yes, indeed. Roster Man Boom, what's your opinion?
Breeding them. What was the question again, Kev?
Okay, question was, let me go to here. In the past, what litter has the panel produced that assured them that they were able to produce their own high-quality dogs?
Well, the only way to do that is when you breed them, they have to show. Most people like to talk about them, and but back then I felt like they needed to show me, and that's why I stayed with the family. And in any family of dogs, you're gonna get some that's gonna be what you're looking for, and then you're gonna get some that's not. But that's not to say you won't get what you're looking for, because you get you say, for instance, you got 6 pups and 3 of them turn out to be real good, and 2 of them don't start, and then 1 act like it really didn't even want to be there. But I've seen where you get them a little more time, then they turn around and start being something special. You know, the ones, you know, that didn't just pop off right then when you was ready. Most of the time, they'll be ready when they ready. But a lot of times, people want them ready when they ready. And it don't happen that way. So, you know, just be patient and go through whatever it is that you're looking to do. And wait your turn. You know, time, you know, with the dogs, you have to give everything time, because it's not like a microwave. It's not like tomorrow. And that's why, you know, was a big thing was you had guys breeding dogs, but they were also buy dogs from other people that was breeding them too. This way, you know, you kept yourself active, and you know, while you waiting on your stuff, and then you know, you got something else to work with, and you know, just different scenarios, man, to go about breeding and looking for whatever it is you're trying to get, and maintaining it, whatever you need to do to stay active until you get what you're breeding to get. You know, so you just gotta be patient, and it'll work. It'll work.
Yes, sir. Salute to Fred in the super chat. Appreciate the support.
Brother Fred.
Salute to my brother Meredith Campbell in the super chat. Appreciate the love, homie. He says, salute, brothers. Thank you all for continuing to share your knowledge and experiences. It's definitely a blessing for me. Salute, brother.
Much love, much love.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir, bro.
Yes, sir. And we have another question here is in the past, has the panel ever had any experience with the Goner bloodline?
The Goner?
The Goner.
Yeah, you're talking about the alien bullshit. The alien bullshit.
Yeah, the alien Goner or the cotton stuff.
Okay. I've had those dogs.
The what? The what dog? Who you talking about?
The alien,
the white dog.
The alien bullshit blood. Basically the cotton bullet stuff. The Steve Hendricks. His name was Steve Hendricks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that stuff. Come from up
Randy
there
Garner,
by
right?
Schoolboy. That's like
Right,
Northern
right,
Cali stuff.
correct, right.
Yeah.
They were very game dogs. They were they were some good dogs. I mean, they weren't the roughest dogs, but they was game and pretty intense. You know what I'm saying? The ones I had, and I got mine from Joe Bill back in the day. He brought them all the way to me, and they were fair, solid dogs. You know, and I had got it to put the cotton bullet with the, with that stuff with my palate and stuff, and but I just left it out because I just didn't feel like it was bringing enough of what I was doing. And then just to answer that last question too, because I forgot, they asked what litter. The litter that made me know that it was working is when I bred Tyrone and Katrina. They both made POR off of that one breed. So that let me know that I was in the right place and they was able to continue to throw themselves. Just to answer that, because he asked what litter we had. I never had mentioned a litter. But yeah, so that's what I got out of that. I don't know if anybody else had dealt with the alien bullshit blood, but that's what I got. They were just game and intense, pretty, but I didn't get that punch that I was looking for.
What about you, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, they were our competition back in the day, and I saw a bunch of them. I didn't see Alien, but I saw Bullshit. I saw them rolled and matched. Elrod, Champion. What was her name? Little female. There's a lot of them. They're like Box said, they're durable, rough, straight bred like that. A lot of people wouldn't like them, because they didn't do a whole lot. It took them a while to get warmed up. But you cross them, you cross them to Bolio, Heinzel, cross it to REDBOY, even Boyle stuff. That's what Grand Champion Snaps is. It's kind of a Bolio white blood cross, They're good. They're good dogs. The thing about them is they're tough and they're so thick, and they're basically, like you said, Cotton's Bullet with Ed Crenshaw.
Yep.
And then, they made different crosses after that. But they just mostly durable and tough game, like you said. Steve, his thing was always long distance, hour, 2 hours. After that, that's what he was looking for. And, if you could get them early, you could beat them. If you could outlast them, you could beat them. The outlasting part is the hard part. They're so patient,
Right.
And but with that patience, you could get busted up too.
And what? That's it. That was the part.
They were built to get busted up though. So, but that doesn't mean they always come out on top, even though they were durable. Like Chainsaw went into Shorty. Shorty was a 2-time winner. He was that blood, and Chainsaw was using 357 Magnum. Well, he got the jump on him and stayed on him for 2 hours and 40 something minutes. And Shorty lost, but he could never get it together. He could never mount an offense, and he was, at the end he didn't have enough to come back when it slowed down. So he could beat them. They were tough competition, And Steve, he would bring out what he considered the best, which means, he didn't have a whole ton of matches, but he beat good people, man. He even go back east and win, all over the place. He'd go up north, or he'd go, southwest, and he'd go to Florida or whatever, So they were. I have a lot of respect for them, even though they were rivals. And then I made a breeding with one of them. I beat what was his name? Beat Wino, and then Bobby was the owner. He bred Wino's dam to Mr. Rowdy. And that was towards the end of my thing. I don't really know what happened to them dogs, but that's the only breeding that I was familiar with for my stuff. Other than that, they stayed on their side of the line. We stayed on our side, and we butted heads. I would say we split 50-50, if I remember. We beat them sometimes they beat us.
Right. What about you, Rasta man? Any experience with those dogs?
Are we talking about the Cotton Bullet bloodline?
It was well, this particular dog, it had that in it, like an Ed Crenshaw Cotton Bullet, type breed. And
Yeah,
but
like Stu Fowler to some inbred
right,
cotton
No,
bullet shit.
no, not the
no, it's no
Stu Fowler.
not the Stu
No,
Fowl, right?
it's a Champion White Bandit,
Yeah, White
which
Bandit.
was which was like heavy line bred on Cotton's Bullet, and then they took him and bred him to daughters of Carver or Crenshaw Snow.
Okay.
So it's the Reno, Miss Spike, Gimp, and that kind of stuff. They put that together, and that.
Boone, it wasn't something that was running down our way. You feel me? So it wasn't like hardly nobody was running it. Where it was an out west. It was Arizona, Vegas, California type. You know what I'm saying? They was running it heavy down there.
It's actually older. It's actually older than a lot of the stuff that we're familiar with. You talking? They started probably in the late '60s with that early '70s. And but it wasn't popular because Steve didn't. They didn't get out until the dogs left his hands, and then people started getting them. Like you said, from Joe Bill Woody, or from other people, Lupe and stuff like that. He didn't sell dogs. He didn't tell people his pets. He's one of those guys that kept everything under wraps. He didn't find out till years later, how they were bred.
Like you said, Schoolboy Cross, they really, I just didn't give it a chance because, like I said, when I was putting my stuff against it, they just looked like game red boy dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that.
You know what I'm saying? I just said, I'm going to kill these motherfuckers in 5 minutes. Like, they was just, you know what I mean? They didn't have they couldn't stand there. I mean, they would stand there, but they ain't going to last long if I just leave my shit on. So I said, fuck it. I'll just stay with my Bolio. I'll continue with my Bolio because, to be honest, the Bolio dogs to me were a little bit more intelligent, even though those dogs was patient. But like you said, that can get them hurt. Going against that shit, we was running all that ZEBO, Eli Carver shit. We was running. You ain't gonna be there long enough to fucking try to see if you can get us in the dark, deep waters. Your ass is history, So I said, fuck it.
Yeah,
I'd rather dealt with the Bolio because the Bolio was showing the same gameness, but they were a lot more defensive minded, which is to stay away from the hard mouth shit. You know what I'm saying? So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna just stay
faster.
with my shit. Right. Correct.
Yeah. I kind of hated to see the Bolio kind of go out of where I'm sure there's still some around, but at the time, man, I really, really liked they could fight.
I'm a Bolio fanatic.
Yeah. If you like boxing and you see them boxers that just, they move a lot, throw a lot of punches,
Right.
That's kind of like a Bolio dog. They ain't the hardest hitters, but they just stay on you, move around, defense, get on the muzzle, nose, head, go rough when they had to. They even go to the stifle sometimes, And they just fun to watch.
The only thing I liked about them, without taking too much time, with the Bolio dogs, they can be 69%, 70% Bolio, and they can stand on their own without a cross. Now, when you cross them, of course, you can get some even badder, but I like them that they could stand on their own against ZEBO type rough ass motherfuckers. And if the ZEBO Carver shit wasn't right, they gonna fucking show you that your ass is not gonna be able to beat them because they gonna stay out the way and frustrate you. But at the same time, they wasn't no soft mouth ass dogs either. By the time they finish fucking your goddamn muzzle and head up and staying out the way, a lot of motherfuckers is not gonna be able to deal with that and get frustrated, and the exhaustion along is gonna goddamn make you quit.
True.
So, but when you did put where a lot of people was taking the Chinaman crossing it with that and different other Eli crosses, just like what created the Boils line, it's some bad motherfuckers gonna come out, when you add a little bit even more punch to a very evasive defensive dog,
Yeah, true. They were kind of the answer to the rough, hard mouth, hard hitting type dog, They were kind of, it'd be like Ollie Frazier, or Ollie Foreman,
Exactly.
something like that.
Great analogy. Great analogy.
Yeah.
Zachariah 23 back in the super chat. Appreciate the support, man. He says, and Zachariah, make sure when you ask your questions, you make sure you're letting everybody listening know you're talking about historically and what these men did in the past. All right. He says studying dog bust, and they always say they acted on a tip. Has the panel ever felt something was off or been tipped off that things were hot back in the day? Of course, Brother Bach.
Nope. I was lucky to never been at a raid or any type of bust. Again, like I said, it was pretty. It was pretty. Okay, well let me just say one of the reasons too. It wasn't. It was only misdemeanors and shit, man. So back then, no police gave a fuck shit. You see the police at the fucking show. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't really a big deal in a lot of places. So there was no reason for the law enforcement. It wasn't no PETA back in the day. Wasn't none of that shit. So she didn't have a hookup in her ass and got everybody behind her and start going after motherfuckers, So now they after the game foul and all that dumb shit. But it really wasn't that type of hookup. So only busts and tips that was going to be made was something else they wanted, but it wasn't the dogs. They didn't give two fucks about nobody with the dogs. Even the money of the dogs wasn't bringing them there like it did. So after it became a felony in most places, that's when you're going where. But me personally, no, I was never at one. I've heard of different busts, but not any that I was at. No.
Yes, sir. What about you, Mr. Garcia?
Not yet. Well, yeah. The last show we had, that's where we all got busted in San Francisco. I wouldn't say I felt like there was tips, but sometimes you get what you call omens,
Yeah.
and you don't listen to them, I was driving there, and it was raining, slick, and I got into a fender bender, and my son was with me. He goes, "What are we going to do?" It just so happened the guy that I hit, because I hit him, rear-ended him a little bit, not bad. He didn't care, He said, "Hey, I was thinking, well, this is it. We're gonna have to go home. We're gonna deal with this and then just take off." And he didn't care. He said, "That's all right. Take off." Then we get to the hotel and there's people driving through they didn't stay there. They didn't park and stay there. So whoever those people were, I kind of got a feeling about that. And then OTK had one of my dogs, and the dog threw up. It was about an 8-hour drive for him. So the dog threw up, feeling queasy, this and that. So he wanted to face him up against my dog and see how he acted. Well, we did that. His dog, which was my dog anyways, started screaming, like that, acting good. My dog, who I was going to use, he looked away, man. He didn't want to have none of that. And I should just pay the forfeit and go home, but I ended up losing anyways. And just little things like that. And then, of course, later on, they come through. And it did so happen that somebody did tip them off. And
Right.
And then besides that, after I won, I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to leave, but there was one more show. And my friend taught, "No, let's stay. I'm going to get Gamison show and this and that." So I stayed. If I'd have left, nothing would have happened. So I didn't follow my gut all the way through that.
Right.
And it cost me. But, I'm okay now.
Yes, indeed. What about you, Rasta man?
One time we was unfortunately had to go through that situation. And, it's like this right here. We respect all law officials. You know what I mean? Because we have to have, you know what I mean? And, but they mostly be in their office, at home, and on their beat. So they don't know what be going on over there. You know what I mean? At this particular time, it was a misdemeanor, and the guy puts on a show and live next to a trailer park. I mean, think about that, man. You put on a show and you live next to a trailer park. How many times them people done woke up and your dogs was raising hell? How many times they wish the hell you didn't have them? You know, to have a show like that with that amount of people right next to a trailer park. I mean, you know, I can understand the hype. Sometimes we get lost in the hype. You know what I mean? The hype. You know, it's high. They're gonna do it. And reality is sitting right there in our face. And, you know, it don't be the stranger. It be the motherfucker you know that do the telling. You see what I'm saying? You know, the motherfucker you invited. So we got caught up in a situation like that. And even today, if I seen Anthony Robinson right now today, I wouldn't even know who the hell he was. You know, because I didn't know him. I didn't know him. But everybody knew that you know, he signed statements against everybody. But I would say this. When you got people that it takes a certain type of person to understand what it meant back then. And that was, you know, when you were doing dogs, you know, that was a chance that something could go wrong. But even so, you still don't cross your brother, man. You know, regardless of what you got going or whatever, you don't do that. But I think now, if you look at the paper, because I watch the news every day. I look at the news every day. I make it a point to watch the news, because that's how you keep up with what's, you know, going on. And these jokers now, man, you know, they become track stars and star witnesses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, and you're like, damn, man. You know, damn, bro, what's the worst gonna happen, man? Come on, man. You know, whatever it is, you got to deal with it. You know what I mean? But you got a lot of tough guys. They talk tough, but when it all happens, you know, then you find out where their hearts are. You know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Ram?
I've been lucky enough to not get caught up in none of that dumb shit. But again, that go back to my answer earlier. We doing fucking two to a side, no add-ons. If those ain't respected, I'm out. So that shit kept me out of a lot of the extra bullshit, bro. That and not fucking going to fucking shows that motherfuckers is making flyers for and shit. Like we back in 1952. Motherfucker, I'd never be seen at one of them, because what happened? They always get cracked. Like, you motherfucking stupid doing that shit. So, been fortunate enough to avoid all of that just from sticking to them two rules. Two to a side, no add-ons.
Yes,
But
sir.
I think the worst part of it is, you know, guys trusting guys that really ain't really with it, man. You know what I mean? I mean, when I say really with it, I mean, you know, I grew up in the projects, and you know, me and my buddy, you know, we were young, man, and we was like, hey, you know, this is the way it goes. No matter what happens, no matter how it happens, everybody carry their own weight. And I'm talking about these brothers that I grew up with, they all, man, carried their own weight. And I wanted to believe that when you met another brother, they be the same weight. But unfortunately, bro, you got some stupid ass brothers, man. They do dumb shit. And then in the end, they looking stupid, but then try to put the blame on somebody else. Nah, motherfucker, you created the dumb shit. You see, because if you would have did it right, now Bach would call me, hey man, this, that. I said, yeah. I said, okay, this back in the day. Not one time, no matter what happened, no matter if me and him were goddamn at one another, it didn't matter.
Right.
Never had an issue. Never. Because I feel like if a brother come check me, I'm responsible for that brother to get back home the way he came.
Right.
That's right.
That's my responsibility, is to make sure that brother get back home to his family the way he came. You know, I don't care who don't like somebody on my side or whatever, it don't matter. Nah, nigga, ain't gonna be none of that shit. He my guest. He my guest. See, the value of brotherhood, man, has you know, I don't know if the cocaine done fried these niggas' brains so bad that they don't understand the value of brotherhood, or their brain just so fried they can't goddamn see nothing no more. All they see is the foolishness. But we gotta make sure that, you know, before we leave this earth, that brothers understand how important it is to love humanity and stand by it, you know what I mean? And make sure that we treat everybody fairly, man, and not be looking for an excuse or trying to find an exit or trying to find the blame, put the blame on somebody. No, take full responsibility for your action. And not only that, back in the day, man, people came from everywhere. We go out to eat, man. We have a good time. We go do our thing, come back, man. Motherfuckers say, hey, man. I said, man, y'all can stay here, man. Come on. You can stay at my house. You know what I mean?
Every fucking time I was in North Carolina, we spent the night at your fucking place.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we it's important that if a brother come by you, it is your responsibility to make sure nobody in your camp give him any problems. You see, I don't understand how you gonna invite a motherfucker somewhere and then you got a knucklehead in your goddamn camp and you allow the dumb motherfucker to disrespect your guests. You just as stupid as he is. Because there's nobody ever in the past can say they came by me and I let somebody gorilla them or play them crazy. I ain't never did that.
Right.
We always make sure everybody was safe, man. And that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, listen, man, I even told a story about them goddamn chili beans. Man, do you know where we was? Man, we was in the fucking mountains where it wasn't no black people there, period. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. But the man had enough respect to treat us good until after he lost, he didn't want to give us no more beans.
I think you still want to eat them fucking chili beans, man. You
still pissed off about that.
Them goddamn beans were good, but them beans were good.
Hey, and they gotta be good, boy. You been talking about. You got me wanting to eat these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, shit, I'm gonna taste them.
Hey, man, them goddamn beans were so good, man. I told Mr. Willie, I said, look, I'm gonna get a plate to go. He said, okay. And so I said, hey, can we get some more of them beans? Ain't no more damn beans. Hey, Mr. Willie say, let's go, boo, let's go.
Oh, shit.
You wore out your goddamn welcome now, motherfucker. It's bad enough you whooped my ass and took my money. Hell no. I put some rat poison in them motherfuckers.
Now you want all my beans.
Yeah, you greedy motherfucker.
You know what? Now you're talking about it. Hey, you know what, Rich? Back in 90, 91, when I flew out that motherfucker, the hospitality was second to none. Damn it, what happened to the food, man? I'm just thinking about that. You had every fucking thing but the food. Shit.
Because it was a small show.
Yeah.
It was shit. We flew all the way from goddamn Virginia to fucking Cali. We should have had some goddamn tacos or something in that motherfucker.
Yeah. No, you're right. I didn't know that's where you were from. But usually, if I had a show, I fed everybody. But if it was just one or two, I might have some beer or something. But I just didn't, You should have told me.
Winter
I'd have had you stay
dinner.
overnight. We'd have had dinner. We'd have breakfast.
That's
all
right.
that.
Hey,
The small shows go to winter by dinner. Fuck that.
Hey, Bob, Schoolboy wife said, who's coming to dinner? And Schoolboy said, not these dreadlocks. She said, well, it won't be a meal.
Oh shit.
I'm just joking with you, Schoolboy.
That's all right.
No, they was the ultimate goddamn host and shit. I just thought about it. I'm like, normally you had a chicken and rice. Everybody was making chicken and rice back then. You know.
Hey, Bob, you remember when I came to your house? Goddamn, I come to Bob's house to hang out. He said, Mia, cook us some of that curry chicken and rice and all this. And Bob said, now my wife cooks the best goddamn curry chicken and this, that.
Right.
I'm just listening. I'm listening, right? Man, me and Bob, so I'm thinking we're going to sit at the goddamn table.
No.
Big Bob goddamn got on his motherfucking forearms and got a motherfucking plate. I looked at it.
That's right.
I looked at the goddamn plate. I said, God damn. That's part of mine.
I'm gonna get to this next question real quick. We got 2 more and we up out of here.
Okay then.
This question here is in the past, what exercise did the panel members use to strengthen a dog's stifles? Welcome down around. What did you do?
Spring pole work, a lot of flirt pole work, some weight pull, but mainly though a lot of spring pole work, because that's his back and his stifle and his neck muscles as well as his jaws, but he using his stifles to drive. So just explosive exercises, basically. That's what I did. It's not that hard to figure out. You just can't be no lazy motherfucker. You got to get out there and do it with your dog.
Yes, sir. What about you, Brother Bot?
Well, I got it from the old East Coast assassin, man. I did a lot of weight. My whole keep is power. Like I said, and it just depending what style dog. If I was using anything other than the stuff that I normally use, then my shit is I just need to get to your ass and the shit's over. So that's why I just dealt with straight power. I was not gonna sit here and lie and say I was around there trying to make a marathon run. So mine was basically a lot of fucking pulling tires, up hills, throw the ball up, let them chase, with like I said, weights, and the resistant wheel that Tyrone died on, that our number one thing we use. And like I said, that's having 2 dogs on it. And it's like I said, a big wheel that the dogs are running under it. But you got one dog pushing this way, the other one trying to push back that way. So that resistance training really had our dogs super strong and their stifles from them pushing and driving. And you could just put another dog on it, another fresh dog, and another fresh dog, to continue.
What about, excuse me real quick, but I'm sorry. Salute Going Hard Kennels. Hey, bro, you don't got to inquire about why dude was blocked. He blocked because he don't fuck with us. So he shouldn't be over here. I don't do the fake shit over here. Either you fuck with us or you don't. Don't be in my chat snooping around looking at shit if you don't fuck with us. That's why his ass blocked. Go ahead, Brother Bot.
Okay, yeah. So and love to Going Hard kennel. But yeah, so that was pretty much. And another thing I did a lot of sand work with my dogs, lifting, pulling weights on the beach. That's mainly where I had them at, and up hills, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you, Mr. Garcia?
Early on, I did like Box said, but I used a harness in a riverbed on the in the sand. And then I developed that baiting technique where I'd have my son walk with the dog in front of me. I have a harness on the dog I'm working. I'd be behind him, and he'd be pulling to build up strength that way. And now they drag weights and all that. But it's important for me, anyways. It was important to use a harness rather than have a lead hook to the collar, because they can't breathe right with the, if they're pulling hard, they'll choke like that. So with a harness, they have freedom to breathe, freedom to move, and just steady work like that. You can adjust it. You can let them run. You can let them walk faster. You can hold back on the lead to give some resistance, and they just pulling. They're digging in with their back legs, and that's what built the strength. Like I said, nowadays, a lot of people don't have that option, but they can drag weights, and again, they're going to drag weights with the harness on.
Right. What about you, Rasta man? To build the dog stifle.
You can. There's a lot of different things you can do to build the back end, but the main thing is don't overdo it. You put too much, and he won't have a back end. It is be flimsy. So you gotta. You heard everybody speak on it, and they said a little. Be conscious of that, because if you overdo it, that's the worst thing you could do is break them down. Then you trying to get them back. You might as well just go ahead and just say, you know what? Let me let him just sit and get his natural gait back, and then we'll redo this thing. But some people, and I'm a victim of it. You done took away some things from the animal, and then you gonna try to fix it. You know what I mean? And that's what you think when you're young. You know what I mean? You can fix it. I can fix this. I can fix this. But I didn't experience a whole lot, and I've been able to fix some things. And then reality shows up too. And so just be easy, but be consistent, and you'll get what you're looking for. Because most of the time, if you walking him and he carry you an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then the endurance and the power is there. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about if you road working, you know what I mean? It just depends on, how you doing, what you're doing. But back in the day, man, I used to love to go high stepping with them, man. I mean, get out there, man. That shit like I done got shot up with some dope or something, man. The adrenaline you get from just high stepping with them, you know what I mean? And they pulling you, and you making sure you leaning back a little bit, and you high stepping, so it's a lot of different ways. Like the guy spoke about what they do, flirting and all this. It's a lot of different ways to get it, but just don't overdo it.
Yes, sir. Salute to my brother Mike Biggs, boxing in the building in that super chat. He says,
Mike Biggs.
He said, just send us some sandwich funds, bro. Appreciate it. He says, salute, General. Should I mate my Rottweiler with my Can Corso? He says, salute, panel in the chat. If you want a big old monster or something, trying to build some guard dogs or something over there, But, we specialize in them other dogs and game dogs over here, though. But, yeah, that's a good little mix, I guess, if you're looking for a guard dog, bro. Let me see here. Another question we got here is, has the panel members ever had a female that displayed male traits, and did those traits transition into the pit? Mr. Garcia.
No, But my buddy had one. You know, she would hump males. You know, hump them. You know, and then she would lift her leg to piss and stuff. I don't know that it transfers over because, you know, typically a female has less testosterone than a male, but, you know, females, the good one, they're nasty, man. They fight. Some of them fights were better than a lot of the males you'll see. So I don't know how that fighting instinct or gameness transfers as far as testosterone or being a male trait, you know. Because you could have the loveliest female, the most motherly female, the most coy and shy or whatever, you know, act like a girl. But when you face them up, man, they're terrible, man. They're just beasts. So I don't know if those male traits influence or make them better or anything like that. It's just some anomalies they have. I don't know why females would do that. It could be maybe they don't like the wet grass touching them, you know, so they don't squat, or I don't know. It was just something weird. That's the only one I ever seen. I know other people have had dogs like that, females like that, where they'll hike their leg to piss, or, you know, try and show dominance or something over another male by humping them or something, you know. But I don't know that it transfers like that as far as the competition side of it, you know. I'm basically saying they don't need it. They're badass just like the way they are, just being a female, you know. So that's my take on it.
100%.
Okay, brother Bach, you say you agree with that 100%. All right.
Yeah, I'm just real quick. To what he stated, I like bitches over males any day. I don't really give a fuck about males too tough. Bitches fight harder. Why? I wouldn't want a bitch act like a male because most males is bitches. Okay, so I like my females. Like I said, I'm gonna just say this real quick. How many times y'all have been in grade school all the way up to fucking high school, and you see a girl might be 3 times the size of that girl, and she gives a fuck about her size. Now let's take little Romeo when he looks at old big Samson over there that's way bigger than him. Most of the time, his ass is already he's defeated because he's saying he's too big for me to fight. Well, girls don't say that shit. Not one girl say, "Oh, I ain't you fight her for me because you bigger than me." No, that girl, well, she might get her ass tore up, but she going in that motherfucker all out with no caring for nobody to break it up. A male is around that motherfucker, most of them that's way smaller, looking for somebody to stop it while they capping over there like they want to fight. Unless you know what I mean? So, no. I'd rather have a female being with the estrogen on all high than her fucking having any type of less estrogen and more testosterone, because it ain't gonna make her ain't like gonna make her stronger just because she act more mannish.
Yes, sir. What's your take on that, Ram?
Play that commercial one more time, then I answer. You know,
Yes,
let him get his 2 in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of the most anticipated dog breedings has finally been confirmed. The pups from this pairing of Zeta and DMX will be born very soon. We are now accepting deposits. Our pups will come with ears cropped and a 2-year health guarantee. Get ahead of the pack on purchasing a puppy by contacting NWA Cane Corsos on Instagram at NWA Cane Corsos. Call or text 479-326-1603 with any questions. A guard dog is your first line of defense. These will be the right pups for the job.
I gotta agree with both the OGs though. I had a bitch that was do like that, squat, and she'd do like that in the dirt, lift her leg up. So I don't know. I thought it was the grass. She was just like that. But as a pup, like out of litter of 8, she was responsible for fucking knocking off 3 of them. You know, by herself. She was just like that. So I don't know if that would correlate to the box, whatever. You know. She was just always like that, and she produced that. But her daddy was like that too. So, shit. Plus, like OG Schoolboy said, the bitches they fight hard than a motherfucking one, a lot meaner. Like Bach was referring to, like they don't give a fuck how big you is, your mama, daughter, whatever. You know, like motherfuckers who got teenage daughters and you live with your wife. I'm pretty sure you know they didn't you had to break some shit up already. But if you haven't yet, you getting ready to. This bitch is just crazy, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Rascal,
probably School Baby, the best fighter I produced.
Oh boy.
Probably put hands across America on the bitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody want to get a fight in a fight with School Baby. They don't care if they beat her. She beats her ass. You
Yeah,
just want to
they
fight.
just want to wrestle with her. They just
That's
want to
it.
wrestle with
Right.
her. Yeah. She was,
Do some Brazilian
not now. She older
jiu-jitsu.
now, but when she was younger, she fight a dude, man. She didn't care. She
Right.
didn't care. She fight a dude or whatever.
Rasta man, what's your take on that? Female dogs with male traits. Has it ever transferred into the box?
You know, I think dominance is a trait that they both share. You know, male and female. Once they hit that square, you know, it's everything about their business. You know, doing what they try to do. But you got some females, you know, they look more like males, and then they kind of act like a male. You know what I mean? Is their intensity more than a one that act like a female? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think the intensity is basically the same, but you got some females that act like male, and they be hot, and then you got some females that don't act like males, and they be. So I think the intensity is good, whether they act like a male or a female. It doesn't matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. One more thing. The reason I brought up testosterone is because in the past somebody made a comment or tried to make a correlation between testosterone and gameness or the aggression or fighting and all that. I just didn't see it, because females, you know, they don't have that level of testosterone and they still fight. So I don't see the connection of because a male has testosterone, that's why he fights or he's tougher or whatever. The female don't have it like that, and some of them are tougher than males. You know,
Most of them are.
Yeah, they got the same intensity or more. And some might have less, some might have more. It just it just depends on the animal. You know.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
Money and magic, XXX. Hold up, honey. No, I'm not your hoe or housewife. What you thought this is? It's not personal, it's business. When you see me, I be fancy underneath it. I be nasty, sharing lace off in my panties. Easy access, ain't no scamming. Got me choking while I'm slurping love potion. From the back type, busted wide open. Got some D-cup titties in a bubble butt. Made his big hard as shit. All I heard him scream was fuck. Give it to me, bear. Pulling on my motherfucking hair. Pretty pussy pink. Knock it out. Put that ass to sleep. Got his wood all in my back. Come in my stomach with all of them racks. Make his dickhead split up cash. Huh? Now give it to me like you want some more. No Tatiana, that's that bottom shelf quality type of hoe. Taste this pussy, you'll eat something that you never had. Put that chain around my neck and choke me till I'm brain dead. Then throw me all of them bands and cash it out to my OnlyFans.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed. I had to sneak that one in there so Schoolboy couldn't prepare for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, you
You
fucked
already
me up.
get up and leave.
Yes,
He
Schoolboy.
didn't let me make my
away.
CC, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Run
Schoolboy.
away.
He get up out of here quick when he see that. He's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, Rab, why don't you go ahead and give us a disclaimer, brother?
You
Hey,
already know
man.
you caught on.
As always, it's a pleasure to be here with the OGs, man, and my brother 7A Sports TV. None of this shit is intended for nor should it be used towards any illegal purposes or activities. If you is using it for that, you fucked up. Don't tell them you got it from here, because if you do, you already know what you get. Pokemon. Every time I see your ass on the yard, motherfucker. Other than that, tomorrow Monday, scratch hard until that motherfucker be great. Check on your OGs, man. We keep losing them. You feel me? Check on them. Holla at them. You feel me? They'll talk back to you. Be great this fucking week. That's all I got.
Yes, sir, man.
Register your dogs to school, boy. Use box fucking transportation to move them.
Absolutely. Let me put that up here.
Well, let me just say real quick on the transportation. Let me just make something clear. So, my partner is more or less using my, he asked to use the name. It's not in full function either. So, it's pretty much just like I said, on the East Coast type side. It ain't going too far one way or another. So it's more or less like up north, the Midwest, a little down south type shit. So it's still in the process of the brother trying to get it all the way. One other quick thing I want to mention, person hit me with. A lot of people, that I just said, in Georgia is getting in trouble with dog papers, from what I'm hearing. When they come into people's place and they see the dog papers, they just go into whoever the breeder is to them and fucking with the breeder of that particular dog that might have been on a yard and say animal cruelty or whatever the fuck going on. So just be careful with these papers, fellas, to kind of not even have them in the same household and shit, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So any papers need to be in a whole nother fucking household, just so they don't get other people in trouble that really ain't got shit to do with what's going on at your house. You know what I'm saying? Keep those, people that got this, because these people might not even be fighting dogs or selling for the purpose of fighting dogs in any type of way. But then they come in the paper and say, oh, okay, well, so-and-so bred the fucking dog. Now they after these people like as if they are selling the dogs for the purpose of fighting.
Right.
Even, you know what I'm saying? Even if a person has to go to court and possibly beat the charges, fuck, they done lost thousands of fucking dollars and fucking all type of goddamn stress and shit for some bullshit. So please, guys, keep the papers the fuck out of your houses. Leave them with somebody else that ain't got a goddamn thing to do with a pit bull at all. If you need to go find them, they got pets online for people that want to just look at your pets. They up there. You ain't got to go looking in it physically in your house. Get them the fuck out of there. Okay.
Yes, sir. We talked about that a little earlier, too. That's what they're doing now. They catch one person doing something, they get the papers, and then they look at the paperwork, and they track them shit down, and they, this the litter mate went over here, the father is over here, and everybody, y'all all in some weird-ass fucking RICO conspiracy bullshit.
Right.
You ain't even did shit. You like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. A salute to the chat. Thank y'all for y'all support every week. Salute to the brothers on the panel. We'll catch y'all next Sunday.
All right.
Peace out.
Much love.